So, my name is Curtis Stewart. I am the artistic director of the American Composers Orchestra, and I am so excited to invite you to our upcoming concert, Carnegie Hall, October 29th at 7:30 p.m. in Zenkel Hall, called The New Virtuoso for Art's Sake. I'm here with our musical director for the evening, Mélisse Brunet. Welcome.
Hey, hi Curtis, hi everybody.
Where are you coming from today?
Today I'm coming from Philadelphia.
Yeah, yeah. Today I'm coming from New York, although I would love to be coming from, the beach, but it's still summer.
Some of us need to work, right?
Some of us need to work. Exactly right. So this program, the New Virtuoso for Art's Sake, is part of a larger program uh, called the New Virtuoso, which basically takes composers who question genre norms for their instrument, including the orchestra as an instrument, and uh, recreate different types of instruments and experiment with what an orchestra can be and do, and therefore creating new virtuosos in the world of classical music. And the idea of for art's sake, these composers on this program have each recreated different elements of what the orchestra can be, whether it's prepared percussion, whether it's graphic scores, improvisation using the conduction technique, or even bringing in sculptures that move in reaction to the music. So the music is actually scored in reaction to these instruments that haven't existed in the orchestral landscape before. So it's going to be an exciting concert, Zinkel Hall, October 29th, 7:30 p.m. So Mélisse, what we're so excited to have you. What interests you most about doing new music and doing all these crazy? Why should we be going to these crazy new music concerts?
You know, I what I really love about new music is that I finally can work with living composers, which is so seldom in as being a conductor and being a musician in generally, we work pieces that are written by people who are dead. So I am the kind of person who has a lot of questions and thinks that meeting the composer and knowing about them, and feeling the vibe, feeling the character really informs also how they wrote the piece. And it's very precious for me to be able to work with them and meet with them. So that's what I like. Now, why you should come to that concert is because it's going to be a super cool concert. As you mentioned, it's going to be pretty unusual as the composers are rethinking the sounds and the orchestra and the orchestra being an instrument. So I think it's going to be very, very creative, very outside of the box, a lot of new concepts. And also to support, the composers that maybe like Beethoven when he did his world premieres, how many people did like them?
Mm,
Not all the time, but yet everybody gets to listen to them now,
mm.
So I think it's the same. Like you support the composers and give them the opportunity to express themselves and discover their sounds that are gonna be maybe super fashionable the day after, or maybe super fashionable in 150 years.
It's amazing. Yeah. So Beethoven. We got our new Beethoven, little Bebe.
You got it.
At this Carnegie Hall performance. I love the connection that you just made between abstract music and extremely personal, an extremely personal approach to making music. So
Mm.
getting to know the personality of the composer actually helps you into this abstract world that they have devised. It's like, it's almost like watching a child play. When you get to know a kid and like they're on the moon today, or they're playing with this doll and doing you really
Mhm.
get to know them in a different kind of way. I don't know.
Yeah, and you can feel them. I'm someone who is very instinctive and who feels a lot being around people. So it really informs a lot consciously and unconsciously. But also I can ask very basic questions and feel if the person is very their writing is needs to be very respected
Mm.
in terms of very precise, or sometimes there is flexibility. And I've noticed that each time I work with living composers, it's very different. And being able to address that is very important for the interpretation for the conductor.
Right. Sometimes the score looks like I was just doing a Bernstein serenade, and
Hmm.
the violin part is probably the most. It's like one hyper notated, in terms of dots, dashes everywhere. Um, and I wonder if there's more freedom in that music, especially watching him
Hmm.
conduct and just be musical, and then also listening to somebody like Midori play the piece.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that you can get that vibe from just meeting the composer. Like,
Yes,
it's not that they don't mean the thing that's there, but how do they mean it, and
exactly.
what does it mean? Like, how does it let you into that world?
And yeah, and that helps you find the groove of the piece because each piece has their own groove. And as you mentioned with your experience on that piece is um, you are like, okay, I can do all of that, but how do I feel the groove? I have a groove now. Can I try a different groove?
Right,
You know, which is
right.
what is exciting about what we do.
Yes, right. And then you actually get to talk, and the composers will be there, so the
Yes.
audience can feel the groove of the piece as we present it, and they can imagine it for their own art, their own
Yeah.
sense of creativity. So I just because the piece is played one way on that stage doesn't mean it'll be the same tomorrow. In fact, there's one piece that is in fact you'll only hear it that day that way. It's totally
Mhm.
improvised with the orchestra through a technique called conduction. And the composer will be improvising with the audience as well. So it should be super fun.
Yeah, it's going to be
Um,
a great experience. And as you mentioned, the composers are here. So maybe, audience members can also chat with them and get to know them. It's pretty cool. It's as if you go to a museum of modern art and you can see the artists there and chat with them as well.
yeah, Museum of Living Art.
Yes.
Uh, well, thank you, Elise. It's been a pleasure. I'm so excited to work with you coming up in October 29th, 7:30 p.m., Zankel Hall, the new Virtuoso for Art's Sake, American Composers Orchestra. Anything else you'd like to mention?
No, thank you, everybody, and see you there.
Sounds good.